Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, ringsidenews.com. It is post Wrestlemania 32. It is post Monday Night Raw from Dallas, Texas. I am here with no more beard. I did live up to my agreement. The beard is gone. My hair is gone as well because two of the stipulations happened. Friggin' Zack Ryder winning the IC title. And of course, he loses the title the very next night on Raw. FML. But anyways, I did record a video of the shaving like I promised I would. Although I am wearing the hat right now. If you want to see my bald head, you'll have to check out that video. Got your questions here regarding Raw as well as questions regarding WrestleMania. So let's get started here today. First one comes from Jared J. Smith. Hey Aaron, where would you rank this year's WrestleMania? Also, could you see The Rock headlining the Hall of Fame next year? Despite what some people think, I actually did enjoy WrestleMania 32. I thought it was a good show overall. Yes, I did have some issues with the show. I felt it was too long. I felt that the wrong people won most of the matches, but I still thought it was a better WrestleMania than 25, 26, 27, 28 for that matter, and definitely 29. I would put this year's WrestleMania somewhere in the middle. I would not say it was as good as 31 or 30 though. And as far as The Rock going into the Hall of Fame next year, I feel it's not really necessary for him to go in this quickly. I think next year, Undertaker is probably a better choice to go into the Hall of Fame. I think you should save The Rock until he's significantly older, or you really have run out of main event names to headline the Hall of Fame. There's no real rush to get The Rock in there, and that's just my take on it. I got this one here from John. Hey Aaron, what was the best and worst moment of WrestleMania 32 for you? Please answer in video. Best moment for me was Shane McMahon jumping off the top of the Hell in a Cell, even though it did result in my head being shaved. The only thing I did not like about that segment, and yes, here I am nitpicking again, as soon as Shane went through the table, you could see Michael Cole there at ringside reading off the script. To me, that just kills the suspension of disbelief, and it's little things like that that bug me about WWE today, just the over-scripting of everything. But I did enjoy the spot. I mean, Shane McMahon deserves so much respect for putting his body on the line like that. He did not have to go out there at 46, 47 years of age and do a crazy stunt like that, but he did it to entertain the fans, and the guy is amazing. Shane McMahon definitely deserves the cheers and the respect from the fans. I mean, he has definitely earned it. As far as the worst moment, Roman Reigns retaining the title, or winning the title, excuse me. Just that whole match in general. I mean, the main event was a real letdown. We all expected that to happen, but we were hoping for something out of the box, some sort of swerve, something different, and it was just Roman Reigns winning the title, and that was it. Seth Rollins guy, what were your thoughts on the main event? Honestly, thought it was terrible. It's not that the match itself was terrible. I mean, it was your typical Triple H match, slow-paced, methodical. The problem is, fans did not want to see that. This was not the right night to do this kind of match, and this was not the right opponent to do this kind of match, and the fans crapped on it. They crapped on it from start to finish. I mean, I heard some reports that the fans popped when Reigns won the title. Maybe they were just happy the show was finally over after 7 hours. Who knows? But to me, the show ended on a sour note, and it really left a bad taste in my mouth for the entire show. Even though I felt that WrestleMania 32 was a good show, when it was over, I was left feeling underwhelmed. Moving on here, got this question from The Stooge. Hey Aaron, do you think that the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal should have surprise entrants every year like tonight? I like the idea of having surprise entrants if they are given a little bit of special treatment and they get a big entrance and they get some sort of recognition, they get to do some cool spots. DDP got to do that, but on the other hand, you had Tatanka in there and he basically did nothing. They did not even give him an intro or anything. So I thought that that was disappointing. But yeah, it is nice to see some past stars. The problem with this year's Andre the Battle Royal, the Dre, I should just call it the Dre. My issue with this year's Battle Royal was that it was really more like a gimmick Battle Royal than this Battle Royal that's supposed to be taken seriously for a trophy that's supposed to mean something. That's how I feel about it. I feel that the Andre the Giant Battle Royal is more or less a joke at this point. Baron Corbin winning was a nice touch, but I do not have much confidence that a year from now the Battle Royal will really mean anything. And will Baron Corbin mean anything in a year? I have my serious doubts, unfortunately, with the way things go in the world of WWE. Alright, this one comes from Brian. Do you think that they are setting up a Big Show versus Shaq match for next year? Who knows? I mean, they could do it next year. I mean, the talk of Big Show and Shaq went back years ago when Shaq was the guest host. What was that, 2009, when they were doing all the guest hosts? But then nothing really happened with that. It didn't go anywhere. And the rumors eventually just fizzled out. And Shaq was never heard from again until now. Until he appeared at WrestleMania. So, yeah, they could do it a year from now. They could do it 6 months from now. They could do it next week. It's really hard to say. But I'm assuming if they do that match, they'll have to turn Big Show heel again. Unless Shaq is going to be the heel, which wouldn't really make sense since he's the celebrity. So, yeah, they'd have to turn Big Show heel for the 30th time or whatever it is. Alright, this one comes from Callum Hunter. Do you see Shawn Michaels returning to the ring? He looked in better shape than 99% of the current roster and was having fun. I have to say, that was a pleasant surprise to see Shawn Michaels in that kind of shape. I thought he looked to be in better shape than he was when he retired back in 2010. He looked great. Now, maybe that's just him being out of the spotlight and not having to get his body beat up every single night, and he's able to eat better and train better. Who knows? But I was definitely impressed with how good of shape he was in at WrestleMania. And yeah, I mean, looking at him in that kind of shape, you want to see the guy get back in the ring. But at the same time, he really did well honoring that retirement stipulation. That was probably the closest to him coming out of retirement that I think we'll get. He did come out there with his ring gear and he had a super kick. And to me, that was really all he needed to do. There's no need for him to come back and do a full-blown match. I felt what he did was really cool and all he needed to do. Alright, this one comes from Brian. With Styles and Ambrose losing, doesn't it feel like their careers just took a downward turn? Ambrose, yes, because I felt that Ambrose really needed a big win after losing at Fastlane, after losing at Roadblock, and so on. He really needed something to get his career going again, and he was not even on Raw this week, which I was surprised that there was nothing with Ambrose. Really all they showed was the highlights from WrestleMania, and that was all we saw of Dean Ambrose on the entire episode of Raw. As for AJ Styles, I mean, I definitely feel him losing at WrestleMania was the wrong finish, but he did win on Raw. He won the main event. He's the new #1 contender, and I'm not sure what this means. I'm not sure if AJ's just going to get a title shot on SmackDown or Raw next week, and that's the end of it, or if there's going to be more to this, and AJ gets the title shot at the next pay-per-view Payback. Time will tell if this is going to be a saving grace for AJ Styles or if he's just going to lose to Roman Reigns and go back to just being one of the guys on the roster. Alright, this one comes from Callie. Do you think AJ Styles will win the WWE title, or will WWE and Super Reigns bury him since WWE did not create him? I'm going to lean towards him not winning the WWE title, at least from Roman Reigns. I mean, WWE, you have to look at it this way. They invested so much into Roman Reigns. They went through with their plan despite all the boos from the fans. WWE did not get cold feet a second year in a row. Roman Reigns is the new WWE champion. Are they really going to have him lose it right away to AJ Styles? And as you pointed out, a guy that was not a WWE creation. As I like to say so many times, highly unlikely in all likelihood. It would be interesting though. It would. If AJ got the pay-per-view match against Roman Reigns and WWE shot some sort of major angle where Reigns turned heel, or perhaps AJ wins the title and there's some sort of swerve, some sort of major storyline development that shakes up the foundation of WWE. I am not expecting that to happen. I think it's more likely that AJ faces Roman Reigns on television and loses, and somebody else faces Roman Reigns at the pay-per-view. But I will go ahead and wait this out and see what happens. I'm a little bit curious. I mean, when they announced that Fatal 4-Way match, I figured one of the heels was going to win. I thought that maybe Jericho would win or Kevin Owens would win and face Roman Reigns. So when AJ won, I mean, that surprised me a little bit, and my curiosity has peaked a little bit regarding that. Alright, this one comes from Nicholas E. Myers. Was it just me, or was this the worst post-Mania Raw in recent memory? It wasn't the wrestlers' fault, it was the awful crowd. I was not really feeling this Raw all that much. I felt that it was a very underwhelming show for the most part, despite the post-WrestleMania crowd, which I felt was not one of the better post-WrestleMania crowds. I'm not sure. It seems like the crowds are getting weaker from a few years ago. I think they really peaked around WrestleMania 29 and WrestleMania 30. WrestleMania 31, I was there in person. It was a little bit disappointing. And this year, I felt it was disappointing in the sense that it seems like more and more with each passing year, the fans are trying to make the show more about themselves, and they're just trying to come up with random chants, and, you know, they are trying to have fun and make the show more exciting, but at the same time, when they start chanting random stuff for people that don't deserve those kind of chants, when there's people going out there and putting their bodies on the line, you know, if you want to chant stupid stuff at Roman Reigns because you want to protest him being the main guy, then that's fine. But when these other guys are going out there and working hard and you're doing these chants that have nothing to do with these guys, it's disrespectful. That's just my opinion. So I had mixed feelings about the Raw crowd, and I had mixed feelings about the direction of WWE now heading into the Payback pay-per-view. But I will say the main event was awesome. The Fatal 4-Way match was terrific. And like I said in the previous question, definitely curious about what's going to happen with AJ Styles going up against Roman Reigns, what WWE does with that storyline, and if there will be any follow-up with Vince and Shane McMahon. And that was another weird thing too. So Vince made such a big deal out of not wanting to have Shane run Raw, but then he goes ahead and lets Shane run Raw. And he leaves the building and he thinks Shane is going to fail. The storyline really doesn't make much sense, but whatever. We'll see what they do with it, if anything at all. That'll wrap it up for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please share it with a friend on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you all for checking out NoDQ.com's coverage of WrestleMania weekend. I appreciate all the support. Somebody actually had a NoDQ.com t-shirt right there in front of the hard camera at WrestleMania. I thought that was really cool. So whoever wore that shirt to WrestleMania, thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. And thank you all for continuing to spread the word about NoDQ.com and these videos. The word of mouth really does go a long way. So keep it up, and I will see you guys next time for more NoDQ&A video.